we left Congo Sahel, and for bad that we come. Small days, if we sabi wasan, we go eat na big man dey hand. For cage big man and I can down. No today, all thing done. Na tomorrow where you go get after, now where you big man and you get. So we left Congo Sahel, and for bad that we come in them.
If you want success, it's not easy, yeah. You get for work from 7 to 5, just forget your daily bread, just to make you survive. Life, yeah, life, yeah. If you want success, it's not easy, yeah. You get for work from 7 to 5, just forget your daily bread, just to make you survive. Ta open it, ta open it, ta open it, more, ta open it, ta open it, ta open it, ta open it, more, ta open it. There are funny, funny things about life. Your hug should be sharper than knife. Believe in yourself and nature will provide. Cause once I go this stuff I must survive. There are funny, funny things about life. Your hug should be sharper than knife. Believe in yourself and nature will provide. Cause once I go this stuff I must survive. Respect my hustle. Hey, my hustle. I go respect your hustle. My hustle. Life, yeah, life, yeah. If you want success, it's not easy, yeah. You get for work from 7 to 5, just forget your daily bread, just to make you survive. Life, yeah, life, yeah. If you want success, it's not easy, yeah. You get for work from 7 to 5, just forget your daily bread, just to make you survive. Ta open it, ta open it, ta open it, more, ta open it, ta open it, ta open it, ta open it, more, ta open it. Life, yeah. Life not easy at all, oh, yeah. Mama they vex, Papa no they push up money. Life, yeah. Life not easy at all, oh, yeah. Mama they vex, Papa no they push up money. Respect my hustle. Hey, my hustle. I go respect your hustle. My hustle. Life, yeah, life, yeah. If you want success, it's not easy, yeah. You get for work from 7 to 5, just forget your daily bread, just to make you survive. Life, yeah, life, yeah. If you want success, it's not easy, yeah. You get for work from 7 to 5, just forget your daily bread, just to make you survive. Ta open it, ta open it, ta open it, more, ta open it, ta open it, ta open it, ta open it, more, ta open it.
I never dreamt to be. You have broken all the barriers, even though they think it's me. I have grown to be stronger, I have grown to be me. I have grown to be grateful, I have grown to be free. I have grown to be stronger, I have found the peace in me. I'm broken all the barriers, even though they think it's me. wise. You can grow to be bold. You can grow to higher heights. You can grow to be stronger. You can find a peace within you. You can overcome the impossible if you believe with you. Now you, now you, now you, yeah, yeah. Now you, now you, now you. Papa God bless me, yeah. From bed to Elena, I dey pile no shoes. Mama be the trapper when I come no food. I dey taught market tell I know the shame old school. Look me to the Uda go say I no cool. For pen bless the streets of party man no lose. The faith make a waka nowadays I dey cruise. I dey cruise, I dey cruise. The faith make a waka nowadays I dey cruise. You can grow to be strong. Oh, you can find a peace within you. You can overcome the impossible if you believe with it. Now you, now you, now you. Yeah, yeah. Now you, now you, now you. Papa God bless me, yeah. Now you, now you, now you, yeah, yeah. Now you, now you, now you. Papa God bless me, yeah.
If you having credit problems, I feel bad for you, son. 1,000 problems, but a car rank 1. Wolf for sure, got me back in the car. Leasing with my credit, I was like, ah man, forget it. Who would've thought I'd be accepted and more? But now I got the keys, I feel so pleased. All types of cars, Fiats, Minis, Renaults, you know, boom, boom, let's go. Wolf for sure, car leasing for every credit score.
So Nikki, you're a winner.
Yeah, I've won 3 times now.
Wow, is that all through Lifestyle Bids, right?
That's right. So first I won the Music Awards, which was in London. Then I won the boxing match, which was in Cardiff. All I had to do was bid 83 pence for that. And then the music festival, which was in California.
And the private jet?
Yeah, made me 3 mates on that too.
So I think it's definitely safe to say that Lifestyle Bids works for you.
Oh yeah, Lifestyle Bids definitely works for me.
So don't just dream it, bid it. Go to lifestylebids.com and let the adventure begin.
Fela Kuti dey aso.
Innocent, money making machine worldwide.
Oh yeah, pray for me, Mama pray for me. I'm in the jungle, I want to make money. Oh yeah, pray for me, Papa pray for me. Oluwa guide my footsteps in this journey. Oh yeah, pray for me. Pray, 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 pray.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, Mama, Papa, brothers and sisters. Welcome to the Health Show. This is Isatta Sisay on the Health Show via Diaspora Voices. And welcome. Hope the evening and the day has been good for you so far. Today we're going to talk about professionalism and your code of conduct, especially within the health and social care sector. However, before we do that, I just want to give a brief update on the coronavirus, because I think there's a lot of scaremongering media and social media messages that are going on unnecessarily, just to create more pressure and stress on everybody. And I think if you know the facts, if you have the information at hand, it will help you to make an informed decision, and it will help you to look after yourself, because this virus is nothing different from any other viruses that we deal with. For example, at the moment, one of the viruses that we're dealing with in the UK is the norovirus, which causes gastroenteritis if you're infected and you've got a low immune system or you're elderly. So this is all part of the viral family of viruses that cause problem across the world. And some of them have been around for many years, especially like this coronavirus. Coronavirus has been around since the 60s, the 1960s, and they don't know where it came from, but it got its name from, you know, a Greek background, and it's primarily to do with the fact that the head of the shape of the virus looks like a crown, and that's why it's called coronavirus. And the common symptoms for this virus are, so it says here, I'm reading directly from the World Health Organization website and NHS Public England, just to make sure I'm giving you the right facts. The symptoms of most coronaviruses are similar to any other upper respiratory infection, including runny nose, coughing, sore throat, and sometimes a fever. So for those of us who've experienced the flu virus, it's pretty much similar. So in most cases, you won't know whether you have a coronavirus or a different cold-causing virus, such as rhinovirus, which I suffer from a lot. And so it's very important to be aware of that. And so we're not saying panic, but at least when you do experience some of these symptoms, go and be checked so that you could be tested. And so the thing about this particular virus, this particular type of coronavirus, it's the seriousness of the infection. That's what brings it to the attention of the world, really. It's because it's because it's a different variant from all the other viruses, and the speed at which it is infecting people and causing death in many cases is what's the issue here. So some of the highlights about this virus, which is also known as the novel coronavirus 2019 #N-CoV. The situation reports from WHO, which was dated the 29th of January. It says 4 confirmed cases reported in United Arab Emirates in individuals traveling from Wuhan city. Now, for most of you are aware that this virus at the moment has originated from the Wuhan city, which is a capital, one of the capitals of China. So that's where this problem has started. And of course, as you know, the way the world is now, traveling and different ways of traveling has improved and developed so much that you can be in China today, tomorrow you're in Australia, or you're in New Zealand, you're in America, and so on and so forth. So people are moving around quite a lot compared to the early days. So WHO, basically, as we know, the World Health Organization, which now the big papa for all public health issues, has come together with the World Economic Forum as well, which is basically because anything that has health issues obviously has an impact financially and economically. And so they've set up a public-private collaboration to kind of look at what's going on in terms of this issue. So they've looked at it and they're calling it the Pandemic Supply Chain Network, which seeks to provide a platform for data sharing, market visibility, and operational coordination and connecting. So you might think, what has this got to do with economics, and what has this got? So if you've been reading the newspapers or watching the news, you can see some airlines have already grounded their flights. Do you know how much that costs? Every minute, every second, every hour, in terms of the business and the economic world. So that is why these two organizations, or these two big heads, have come together to put together things and look at how best they can manage this and contain it as quickly as possible, so that it doesn't become too much of a worldwide issue. Now, so in terms of the situation, the numbers that are confirmed at the moment globally is 6,065 people have been infected. They've been tested positive of this coronavirus. And in China, so China has that large amount. China has got 5,997 confirmed out of that 6,065. And so for people who are creating all this scaremongering, yes, it is a global emergency to some extent. It's high. However, if you look at the figures, to some extent, they're still trying to contain it in China. They've suspected 9,239 cases in China. And out of those 5,997 in China, 1,239 have been severe and 132 deaths. So 132 deaths have been confirmed. So, and outside of China, 68 has been confirmed and 15 in 15 different countries. So like I said earlier on, transportation has innovated so much that traveling across the globe is quite quick and easy these days, that people are easily moving from one place to another. So that's the situation with this coronavirus. Like I said, the symptoms are similar to the symptoms of cold and flu. So it's to really keep an eye on it and everything. And so for us in the UK here, what does NHS Public Health England says? So Public Health England, as of today, the 30th of January, a total of 161 UK tests have concluded, of which 161 were confirmed negative and 0 positive. So as of this afternoon, when I checked, as of the 30th of January on the Public Health England website, 161 people have been tested, and I guess those are people who've come from East Asia and all of that, or suspected or have gone in with suspected symptoms. They've been tested, 161, and 0 have been positive. They've all been negative. And 1,466 passengers and 95 staff arrived in the UK on direct flights from Wuhan between the 10th and the 24th of January. So I guess out of that is why they tested that 161, which has turned out to be negative. So 162 of the passengers have already left the UK. 760 are now outside of the incubation period. What's an incubation period? An incubation period is basically from when you are infected by a virus to the time it takes before it manifests itself. So those people have gone through that period. So as you can see, Public Health England is doing everything rigorously. So all these people came in, they tagged them already, they're monitoring them, they're following them up, and so they're able to give you figures. So as much as some of the media is giving you these big high headlines to kind of scare you, or people are making all sorts of videos and sending WhatsApp messages and so on and so forth, go and look for information. Go to the appropriate media platforms and look for information, and look for the right information and contingent information. So, and like I said, Public Health England are working to contact the remaining passengers. So the Department of Health and Social Care will be publishing updated data on this page on a daily basis at 2 p.m. until further notice. So like I said to you, I got this after 2 p.m. today. And so every day, if you're in the UK and you want to know what's happening from a coronavirus point of view in the UK, then go to Public Health England website. Just Google that and it will come up. So there are currently no confirmed cases in the UK or of UK citizens abroad. And the risk to the public is low. The government is monitoring the situation closely and will continue to work with the World Health Organization and international community. The government's approach is guided by the advice of the Chief Medical Officer. If and when a first case in the UK is confirmed, it will be announced as soon as possible by the Chief Medical Officer of the affected country. This will be followed by a statement by England's Chief Medical Officer, Professor Chris Whitty. So it's very, very important, ladies and gentlemen, that we pay attention and get information from the right people and ensure that things are going as they should, rather than, take some responsibility as well. Take some responsibilities. Take some responsibility. When you get these WhatsApp, like today I have over 10 different versions of this coronavirus thing. This is why I said, you know what, I'm going to halt my main topic and talk a little bit about this coronavirus business, because I think people then quick for create a scaremongering and create panic and do this fake news and whatever. I think as individuals, it is our responsibility. When you receive information especially via WhatsApp, read it through, think about it. Is it true? Should I actually forward this message without checking the facts? Like we always say, you self-accountable for the spread the bad rumors. So it's very, very important. So make I go again, Pakrio, waiting at this coronavirus. So this coronavirus, now a type of virus, just like we get and the norovirus, we get the other one that we come in 2003, then call it the SARS virus, we create a lot of problem as well. Now that area there, and this virus, the coronavirus, now a group of viruses which are very common across the world, very, very common, and their symptoms is typical of fever, where you feel cold, and then cough. And sometimes they cause severe pneumonia, where now they cause difficulty breathing and shortness of breath. So that is why when they're serious because they affect your respiratory tract, which is your lungs, where now you need for breathe in oxygen. And then, of course, you gastrointestinal, which is basically from your mouth stay to your food pipe, stay into your belly, and you got it affect them. So that is why it's serious, So and when it causes those symptoms, then they cause them people then we already get they get low immune system or weakened immune system, such as or then get compromised immune system, like somebody will get HIV. They're more at risk than somebody we're very well and about. And also older people as well, they're at higher risk. And those who also have long-term conditions such as like diabetes, cancer, and of course chronic lung disease. So if you've already got some chronic lung issues, then you're at higher risk. So this particular strain, which is called the novel coronavirus, is a new strain of virus which now this term they don't identify, and now Wuhan, which is a city of China. So and that is why it's caused a lot of problems. So what are they advising for travelers from Wuhan? So if you have returned from Wuhan in the last 14 days, they're asking you to stay indoors, avoid contact with other people as you would with other flu viruses. Just like when you get flu, how you can do, you keep yourself indoors, you take your paracetamol for reduce the fever, you drink plenty of water. Those are the kind of things that you need to do. So take simple common steps for avoid close contact with other people until for that remaining 14 days there where you did now your country where you don't come out Wuhan, So it is very, very important. Try for avoid public transport or taxis, you know, any side where you go, where you go, if you sneeze or do stuff, it affect other people. Them try for avoid that. You know, even get in everything. Just try for avoid public areas. I think that's the most important message here. Try to avoid public areas, and then that will be helpful to everybody and whosoever they around, if you're not sure of what's going on. And then so with the UK, for us in the UK, be rest assured everything is being done vigilantly to ensure that if they do test a positive case, everything will be done about it. Because bearing in mind, UK is now one of the first countries outside China to have a prototype specific laboratory test for this new disease. And healthcare professionals who are contacted by a patient with symptoms following travel to Wuhan have been advised to submit samples to Public Health England for testing. Individuals should be treated in isolation. So that's very important. So basically, since you see, this is what the Western world is good at. They learn lessons. So guess what? When they had the SARS virus, any of you who were around in 2003, you remember the SARS virus, which was after that experience, which was the severe acute respiratory syndrome. Basically, it also caused a lot of mayhem. So Public Health England, since then, they developed a series of diagnostic tests to detect any member of this family, which again, this coronavirus, SARS virus is also part of this coronavirus. So they've had that and they've been using it for several years. And so they're able to detect a lot of these viruses if they do come here, and any cases of, you know, including the Middle East respiratory syndrome as well, which was the MERS virus, which came from the Middle East. And that was in 2012. So be rest assured, especially this part of the world, these people, we've been dealing with these kind of viruses, you know, again, the norovirus and all of that. It's just taking the same precautions and ensuring that you're doing hand washing. Of course, hand washing should be very important. Trying to avoid public places as much as you can, if you can, and do that. But I just wanted to clarify 3 terminologies for you, because when you hear the news or when you read the news, the 3 things they say there's a pandemic, there's an epidemic, and all of that. So a pandemic is basically a disease that has been epidemic, that has spread across a range of large region. For example, it's gone through multiple continents or even worldwide. So a widespread of endemic disease that is stable in terms of how many people are getting sick from it. It is not a pandemic. Okay? So an epidemic is when there's a rapid spread of infectious diseases to a large number of people in a given population within a short period of time, usually 2 weeks or less. And then we know, say, one of these what we get is the Ebola. And then also there was a time when Lassa fever was also that, but Lassa fever is no longer. It's now more an endemic for us in Sierra Leone, because it's kept at a certain level now. It's there, it's kept at a certain level, and it's been managed and contained very well. So those are the kind of things you hear about. You hear about, and also, for example, chickenpox is an endemic in the UK here, because it's considered a steady state. So every so often people, they will get them, but you know, they go higher than certain level. So anyways, ladies and gentlemen, so that's it for the coronavirus. I will now take a break, and then when we come back, we'll go on to our main topic, which is all about professionalism and your code of conduct as a health and social care worker. So stay tuned. This is Isatta Sisay on the Health Show by Diaspora Voices.
In a sense, money making my sin. worldwide.
Oh yeah, pray for me. Mama, pray for me. I'm in the jungle, I want to make money. Oh yeah, pray for me. Papa, pray for me. Oh no, I guide my footsteps in this journey. Oh yeah, pray for me. Pray, 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 pray.
If you're having credit problems, I feel bad for you, son. 1,000 problems, but a car ain't one. Wheels for sure, got me back in the car. Leasing with my credit, I was like, oh man, forget it. Who would've thought I'd be accepted and more? But now I got the keys, I feel so pleased. All types of cars, Fiats, Minis, Renaults, you know, boom, boom, let's go. Wheels for sure, car leasing for every credit score.
If you want success, it's not easy, yeah. You get for work from 7 to 5, just forget your daily bread, just to make you survive. Life, yeah, life, yeah. If you want success, it's not easy, yeah. You get for work from 7 to 5, just forget your daily bread, just to make you survive. Ta open it, ta open it, ta open it, more, ta open it, ta open it, ta open it, ta open it, more, ta open it. There are funny, funny things about life. Your huggy should be sharper than knife. Believe in yourself and nature will provide. Cause once I go this off I must survive. Hey, there are funny, funny things about life. Your huggy should be sharper than knife. Believe in yourself and nature will provide. Cause once I go this off I must survive. Respect my hustle. Hey, my hustle. I go respect your hustle. My hustle. Life, yeah, life, yeah. If you want success, it's not easy, yeah. You get for work from 7 to 5, just forget your daily bread, just to make you survive. Life, yeah, life, yeah. If you want success, it's not easy, yeah. You get for work from 7 to 5, just forget your daily bread, just to make you survive. Ta open it, ta open it, ta open it, more, ta open it, ta open it, ta open it, ta open it, more, ta open it. Life, yeah. Mama dey vex, Papa no dey put up money. Life, yeah, life no easy at all, oh, yeah. Mama dey vex, Papa no dey put up money. Respect my hustle, hey, my hustle. I go respect your hustle, my hustle. Life, yeah, life, yeah. If you want success, it's not easy, yeah. You get for work from 7 to 5, just forget your daily bread, just to make you survive. Life, yeah, life, yeah. If you want success, it's not easy, yeah. You get for work from 7 to 5, just forget your daily bread, just to make you survive. Ta open it, ta open it, ta open it, more, ta open it, ta open it, ta open it, ta open it, more, ta open it.
Taupane, let we hold we self together. Taupane, taupane. Good evening again. Welcome back from the little break. This is Isatta Sisay-Jalloh on the Health Show via our very own Diaspora Voices, inspiring the community in so many ways and raising champions. So this is us. This is how we do it. We are trying to constantly inspire the community and raise champions and learn, talk and share with one another. So today the topic. This topic is a very sensitive topic, but it's very close to my heart. It's a very close topic to my heart because of the things that I've been observing around, especially in our community, Lano Lai Pauna. I don't know about other communities. I'm talking about we own community, the Sierra Leonean community, because we're multiplying so much now in community. It's unbelievable, and we've got so many professionals. It's amazing. But the highest number of professionals we have is kind of within the health and social care network, and sector. So I think it's only befitting for me for focus on that. But primarily it's because I am also a member of the health and social sector. So it's best for me to talk about what I know and stay away from what I don't know. So today we're talking about professionalism and your code of conduct. What do we mean when we say your code of conduct? Well, your code of conduct, in anything in life that you do, you have guidance, you have rules, you have laws, you have things that guide you to do what you don't do. Even in your household, you have rules. If you have children, you make rules by which you guide them and you raise them by. If you're on your own in your house, you still have rules. You have principles by how you live your life. You have principles by how you deal with other people. You have principles by how you expect others to deal with you. So in our profession, especially the health and social care sector, we have code of conduct. Now for healthcare professionals, especially nurses within the healthcare, which are nurses, and that means either you're an adult nurse or a pediatric nurse who is a pikin nurse, or a mental health nurse, or a midwife, we have a code of conduct. So likewise, in social work, they also have a code of conduct, but theirs is a little bit different from ours. Theirs is considered, they call it, it's called, let me go again, it's called the British Association of Social Workers, and they focus on ethics, okay? So they focus on ethics in terms of social workers, and then for doctors, they have their own governing board that protects them. They're called the General Medical Council. Now, all these different councils, so for nurses, as in general, as whether you're an adult nurse, a pediatric nurse, a learning disability nurse, a mental health nurse, or a midwife, those 5 sectors, you report and you're answerable to the Nursing and Midwifery Council. So that's our board, that's our registration board, that's our professional board. And then for the doctors, they've got the General Medical Council. And then for social workers, they have the British Association for Social Workers. Now going back to the Nursing and Midwifery Council, something that has been introduced and added to those professionals is nursing associates, which they're a higher level than healthcare assistants. So they're band 4s. So they're called the nursing associates. So that's amount. So they are also accountable. So if we think about where you the men picking at us, where you get you law them, you say they're not for go take chop in a fridge if they not ask you. Now the same way this council themselves also get laws about us. And why then get these laws them? So the laws they have is to protect the patient or the client and to support us with education and practice across the United Kingdom. And so it's to protect the patient, especially their safety, and to support us in education and practice across the United Kingdom. So that is what it is all about. So today I really want to go through some of these code of conduct. Let me talk about it. And please join in, type things or call us on 07946 141 369, 07946 141 369. I can see lots and lots of nurses and healthcare professionals who work within healthcare sector or social care sector have logged on. So it would be nice if you people join in and make your comments, because the reason why I'm saying this is because we as healthcare professionals, we have a local community, and within that local community sometimes you can't help but work in a setting where you'll meet your brother, your sister, your mother, your father, not biologically, but when I mean your salon person. So you go work in a hospital or na a mental health institute or a supported housing or a foster care or a social work agency or a care agency or any health and social care agency where you will come across a Sierra Leonean brother or sister. And that is happening a lot more because now we have a fourth generation in this country. So whether we like it or not, we're getting old, we're having children, we are becoming unwell, we're having mental health problems, we're having physical health problems, we're having all sorts of issues just like any other community is dealing with. So how do we maintain that professionalism and code of conduct? How you maintain where you go now, you ward, do clean, you grab, you dress as a nurse, you go work now, you hospital ward. Then where you go, whether they give you handover, you find out say, hey, DJ Little now I'm by the patient, God forbid. How you they deal with that? How are you supposed to deal with that? Where you know say you don't use for the watch diaspora voices. What is the first thing that comes to your mind? Is it the first thing that comes to your mind? Is it that after you don't listen the handover, now forget on your phone and begin call Isatta, you know for say DJ Little today now? Is that what you're supposed to do or not? Or you don't see DJ Little na this word, you don't meet, you know say in a salon person, you self know say in a salon person. What is your clear boundaries dealing with DJ Little? Being the fact that you get access to everything that matters to DJ Little on that ward, because as a professional, you're given automatic access because of your role. What do you do with that information, and how do you manage that information? Those are some of the things we're looking at today. How do you manage the family? How do you deal with the family on a professional point of view? So you then at this word, DJ Little today. Now whether now you direct patients, not so you they look after them directly or not, DJ Little then at this word. Then what I go say? Then DJ Ish call you. You know, he say, Cynthia. You said DJ Little, then I word. Yeah, DJ Little, then I'm word. He then I'm word. You don't already go wrong there. You already don't broke confidentiality. That's one thing. Then the other thing, so what DJ Little then what did I admit her so for? Hey, me brother, no easy, not good for talk. You know, fine for talk safe. First, he go make like you know one talk. He go make like he want make professionalism. The next, my sister, my brother, not tell other person now. You know what they tell, because I know say you and DJ Little now very very close. So do you beg let this talk not reach other side? You know, DJ Little. I said 2 days in no peace. I can't laugh. They say 2 days DJ Little no peace. Now you business for tell Ishmael. If Ishmael and DJ Ish and DJ Little, then that's close. Then you go for allow DJ Little for tell DJ Ish in problem. Not so you business for tell him. Not so you business for tell him at all. And this now some of the reasons what they deal with now with community. For some of us where they try for do outreach and help and support people the way they go through difficult times, one of the challenges that why they face is the lack of trust. Because we they talk so much now in community about people them personal and private business, and we know they think who's how they talk about it. We then a boss we they talk, we dey na train, we dey talk, we dey na host, we dey talk. Any side where they talk me to it, catch we, feel we dey just talk. And sometimes we dey forget say the way where the world done there now. Don't think say because you sit down here with man, that with man no dey talk Creole. You know if na Lebanese man we don't born a men na salon, or you know if na with man we don't born a men na salon, or you know if na them with man we don't go do missionary work or Peace Corps work or other NGO work where they don't make the effort for learn the language. Somebody tell me some joke many years ago. Is he done na boss na London ya? If they keep company na Mende, is he done here one with 2 man? Where don't talk done inside the Mende 90 with 2 man tell us say bo I be here. He say he freeze because now the last thing that they expect for say somebody with man go talk Mende. If he say don't talk is so confidential because he don't put an amende. In fact, he don't move himself say so he says so tell the Creole people that wear because na kind of pidgin broken English. He say la ben and force to Mende. Where the wait man tell her do pa Mende not believe. Then he can't find out say that wait man they work and live na in hometown all the way in the southern region of Sierra Leone. So we have to be very mindful how we say things, where we say things, and who we say things to, and especially for we I sit and tell DJ to a show. I sit and tell me say you admit exactly. You know these are the kind of things. Sir Weber. These are the kind of things we have to be mindful. We have to be mindful. I know they say, oh, person business, not to your business. But you have to be careful how you approach person in business. You have to be mindful of it. You have to think about yourself. Say to yourself, okay, if na me then in this situation, wetin I go want, wetin I go expect, wetin I go like. So please, today is about managing our professionalism, managing ourselves, our emotions, because the thing is, most times it's not because people are doing it out of malice, out of spite, or out of bitterness. Don't get me wrong. It's because of our emotions, and also because we don't use for talk but go. And that's the problem. So be very mindful. If somebody is willing for break in confidentiality, fine. For example, I get my sister, Kadidin. Kadidin suffers from sickle cell. She doesn't keep it as a secret. She makes noise about it. Even yesterday, she was in hospital where you go for a transfusion. She will put it live. She will encourage, and because for her, that's her own way of coping and dealing with it. But also, it's a way to encourage others who are going through similar disease or illness or issues to know that they are not on their own. So that's what she does. So that is her right. That is her right. She has put it out there. She has given herself the permission to do that. She has given you permission to watch her. She has opened to the public. But what you don't have a right to do is when Kadi go to hospital, you go video him, then you begin sending on our WhatsApp. That is not your right. So people have to think about that. And us as nurses, we have to be very mindful because the Nursing and Midwifery Council are becoming more and more strict as the years go by, because they're getting lots of complaints about these issues, which are all part of our code of conduct. So we are going to go through this code of conduct today. Me and Una, let people there also make, because maybe some people, as soon as they pass the nursing exam or the course, they graduated, then registered, then get a PIN number. I don't think people really go back and look at their code of conduct. Okay, yes, in the last 6 or so years, now, because of all these things that are happening, they don't introduce things like the revalidation process, which we have to do now every 3 years to see that you're developing yourself, you still are familiar with your code of conduct and what you're supposed to do and what you're not supposed to do. So it is the professional standards of practice and behavior. Practice and behavior. Those two things go hand in hand. practice and behavior of nurses, midwives, and nursing associates. That's what it's all about. And it has 4 domains, 4 key areas that it covers. Prioritizing people, putting people first, practicing effectively, making sure you're doing the right thing, evidence-based practice, preserve safety, always do your risk assessment and make sure you're doing safe practice. For example, you know they go normal because the doctor don't prescribe paracetamol, you go normal, you go give the person paracetamol. You get for check their name, their dates of birth, and make sure say they're supposed to take that paracetamol day. And then last but not the least, promote professionalism and trust. Promote professionalism and trust is very, very important, and that is one thing I want all of us as in this community to think about. Those prioritizing people and promoting professionalism and trust. We get for stop for talk boku boku. We don't talk too much. Some of this talking, actually they affect a lot of sick people who want help and need help, but because they're afraid, they not trust nobody again, they're afraid, then they end up not for share them problem with anybody, and then they suffer in silence, and even worst case scenario sometimes, they die in silence. So it's very, very important we look at that and we know what we're doing, because and also it is against the law in this country, the United Kingdom, to be or to practice as a nurse or midwife in the UK or as a nursing associate in England if you are not on the relevant part of the register. Because as you know, the register has different parts. Like I said, you can be an adult nurse, you can be a mental health nurse, you can be a learning disability nurse, you can be a pediatric nurse, and you can be a nursing associate. So each one gets in Lily subset part where you suppose for day. So be mindful, be mindful, be mindful. So the role of the Nursing and Midwifery Council is to set the standards in the code, but these are not just our standards, they are the standards that patients and members of the public tell us they expect from health professionals. They are the standards shown every day by those on our register. So you have to lead by example. So when joining our register, that is the Nursing and Midwifery Register, and then renewing their registration, nurses, midwives, and nursing associates commit to upholding these standards. So you sign a contract. A contract you sign where they do that. Where you see you tick all them box them. You pay that £120. Now it's £120 because I just don't pay me yourself every year. You don't sign a contract. Say I would uphold all these rules and regulations, and the commitment to the professional standard is fundamental. Being part of a profession, we can take action if those on our register fail to uphold the code in serious cases. This can also include removing them from the register. Oh yes, you can be removed from the register. Don't think you're immune. So if you don't behave yourself and you don't do what you're supposed to do, you can be removed from the register. And this code should be useful for everyone who cares about good nursing and midwifery. So if you're really passionate about your job, like I am, I'm very passionate. For me, nursing is a vocation. I didn't do it because it pays more money. I didn't do it because it helped in terms of status. I did it because from the day I was born and growing up, my mom was a nurse, but also all I wanted to do was care for other people. So that is why I'm a nurse. So for me, it's a vocation. I tried to go do other things, several other things, but I always ended up back feeling the need to be a nurse. And that's how I ended up becoming a nurse as well. So it's very, very important. Let's think about that. So the first bit of it was prioritizing people. Now, in terms of prioritizing people, what does it mean? It means putting people first in a layman's term. Look at the needs of people and try and manage them accordingly as per priority. So you put the interest of people using or needing nursing or midwifery services first. You make their care and safety your main concern and make sure that their dignity is preserved and their needs are recognized. Their dignity is preserved, their needs are recognized and assessed and responded to. You make sure that those receiving care are treated with respect, that their rights are upheld, and that any discriminatory attitudes and behavior towards these receiving care are challenged. So for example, if you dey look after a patient, the doctor come, do what he's supposed to do, you have every right and duty of care for challenge that. Because if you don't, and something goes wrong, and it goes to the court of law, you are equally as accountable as that doctor did. So always remember that. So this first domain, when I'm prioritizing people, it has subsets, obviously. So one of the subsets is number 1, treat people as individuals and uphold their dignity. To achieve this, you get for treat people with kindness. Be kind to people. Be respectful to people. Show compassion. Make sure you deliver the fundamentals of care effectively. That is assessing their needs, putting in actions, and following in those interventions and reassessing. Avoid making assumptions and recognize diversity and individual choice. For example, if somebody comes to you, he say, if you look after HIV patients, let's say you're in a HIV clinic, do not assume say that person then be rare girl or rare boy and I make it end up forget HIV. No, you don't know whether they got it through transfusion. You don't know. Yes, maybe it was sexually transmitted, but were they raped? So it is not your job to assume, neither judge. It is also your job to recognize diversity. It not mean say if you not black, because you not like Chinese man, when Chinese man come, you not listen to him problem. And also, when Chinese man come, you not acknowledge in your cultural values. For example, me then within the cancer setting, I'll tell you for true and for free say, people in East Asia, a lot of them who I don't look after, the word cancer, they know they mention them. They will tell you, say, that thing or tumor. They know they use that word, the cancer, because for them, it's a punishment. So everybody, and so it's my responsibility and duty for respect that. And then you have to make sure that any treatment, assistance, or care for which you are responsible is delivered without undue delay. Not go sit down at staff room, they keep company, say, Aboduya, need to wait for me for some, after all, I sabi you, now all come out party streets. So, like, it's first, but they like talk, oh, this is somebody, they live on Facebook, like, watch them first, before they do it, and they don't know. That is wrong. You can be in serious trouble for that. And then the other subset is listen to people and respond to their preferences and concern. Pay attention. Listen to people. Work in partnership with people to make sure you deliver care effectively. So when you look after somebody, you not just they come where they give you paracetamol for can't give the person. You can, oh, I've got paracetamol for you. Oh, you're on paracetamol. Is that because of your headache? Yeah. How is your headache? How are you feeling? Is it helping? Is the paracetamol helping your headache? Those kind of things. Show concern, show compassion. Be empathetic, Recognize and respect the contribution that people can make to their own health and well-being, which is just what I've been telling you about. Recognize that. Ensure that they are part of the care. Don't be prescriptive. and look you medication, or you've got your paracetamol, here is it. No, stand, engage with them, talk to them, listen to them. Show our body language makes a lot of difference. Look at them, speak to them, give eye contact. And no say also we come out. Eye contact was something that was very much frowned on in terms of tradition and culture. When you look, you big one and yai, it means nafiti and disrespect. So this part of the world actually that means positive communication. So it's very, very important to use eye contact. Encourage people to share in decisions about their treatment, which is what we've talked about, and of course respect and support and document a person's right to accept or refuse care and treatment. So if you go give somebody paracetamol, it tells you, I don't get headache again, I don't want to take them, but you try for convince her, say no, then now they're right. All you got to do, you document them, and then you make sure, say, you tell the doctor, say, doc, this person here say, you know, want this paracetamol, because today, you know, feel say you need them. It is their right. You can't force them. You can't force people to refuse to accept treatment, even if you think it is in their own best interest. And I think that's very important. All you can do is you can try and explain it to them, the reason why they need that treatment and why you think it will benefit them. Give them the information, give them the evidence, and leave them to make their own decision, which is what we call informed decision. So that's very, very important. And then the other subset is make sure that people's physical, social, and psychological needs are assessed and responded to accordingly. Again, this is it. You go physical, make sure you don't check all your vital signs. And when you do check them, make sure you identify the difference between normal and abnormal. Nowadays, everything is so easy in the sense, like you na post we copy assignments. All you need for do now for check online. You will get good, go to places like Google Scholar or PubMed and stuff. You will get good information and good things. So that's very, very important. And make sure you compare. Not wait say because the doctor just said that the vital signs. It is your duty to recognize if they're abnormal. It is your duty to check your blood results to recognize that they're abnormal. And it is your duty to raise alarm if they're abnormal. It is not your duty for you don't wait until the doctor can, maybe the doctor know they can the next 24 hours. No, it is not. And it is your duty to assess so that you identify any new issues, problems, or symptoms that present themselves and for you to report them accordingly. Act in the best interest of people at all times. Balance the need of acting in the best interest of people. Just like I said earlier on, people have the right, and as long as they've got the mental capacity to make that decision, then you have to respect that. And you have to respect people's right to privacy and confidentiality. This is the one I'm banging on big time. People's right to privacy and confidentiality. Very, very important. I'll give you a simple example again. Hi, Fatia. Samura Bangura is there. Last year, Fatia did some surgery on her foot. She felt comfortable to share it with us in the community by posting it on social media. And that was her right. Her right. And the reason why she did that, one of the reasons why I think she did that, and what I got from it is it was about encouraging people to see beyond the fact that, okay, I've got surgery, that means that's the end of the world. No. I've got a situation, it's been sorted, I'm going to try and carry on and live my life as normal as possible. So we all see Fatia, they go both party, they go Afro arts and all of that. She wasn't her usual self, like dancing and everything, because she had to rest the foot. And some of us, like myself, every time I see her, say, you dey elevate that foot, But it was the message behind her posting. those pictures and pay and drawing our attention. That was what people should see behind that. I know say some people go look at negatively, say, if you food the hamburger, you know, will keep on to yourself, why you need for tell we, or if you food with yourself, why you they come on? No. You have to adapt and do things that suits you best. So it's very, very important. Nim content here says, respect people's rights to privacy and confidentiality. Yes, all healthcare professionals should work in accordance with the NMC code. Fit for purpose, fit to practice. Thank you. Great topic. Great topic indeed. I think in our community, we need to learn. We need to try and do things professionally. We're not in a village. We're not in a village where they team up the hill then call the other person down and say, hey, what? Can I? No. We have to stop some of these bad behaviors, because they are bad behaviors and it's not good and it's not decent and it's causing a lot of lost lives, and it's causing a lot of problem for other people. So respect a person's right to privacy in all aspects of their care. Make sure that people are informed about how and why information is used and shared by those who will be providing care. Respect that person's right to privacy and confidentiality continues after they have died. I want to go back to this. Respect that a person's right to privacy and confidentiality continues after they have died. So if you don't look after somebody when they don't die, if you say, because they don't die, you get right now for disclose their medical history or problem, then you are getting yourself into big trouble, because you're not supposed to. You have to maintain that confidentiality. Tell yourself go na your own grave. So it's very important we know that and we understand that, because time and time again, the way I see people that they talk, analyze other people, their own health issues and personal or social welfare issues, it's unbelievable. Everybody has become doctors, nurses, prescribers, surgeons, counselors, everything. Everybody analyzing everybody else's life except their own life. Analyze your own life. Talk about your own life. It is your right. If somebody else gives you permission to talk about their life, fine, so be it. If someone else consents for you to share their story, fine, so be it. But without that consent, without that formal permission or informal permission, you have no right to be sharing other people's personal affair. So it is wrong and you should not do it. So we move on to the second domain. Practice effectively. Practice effectively, making sure your practice is always in line with the best available evidence. And to achieve this, you have to make sure you have the right information and advice given in evidence-based practice, including information relating to using any health and care products. For example, when you're taking blood, you have to do it in a specific way. You have to use the appropriate equipment. When I was last on the ward, we used to use a butterfly needle to take blood, to do venipuncture. Nowadays, when I go to get my blood taken, I notice they've got a more secure system in place. No more butterfly needle. Why? Because over the years they've realized that is one thing that causes needle stick injury. So they've tried to move on from there. It's all about innovation. It's all about improving health and safety, patient safety, staff safety. So now they've got a pretty much secure system. As soon as you take the blood, you just close. The same with the needles and the syringes as well. The syringes, you've got the layer lock one that is like a screw. You screw the needle onto it, so it reduces the chance of the needle disconnecting itself from the syringe, where if you've got a drug that is serious, you're not spilling it on candidly. So it's very important to think about things like that. And maintaining the knowledge and skills you need for safe and effective practice. Go to conferences, go to seminars, go to study days, go online. There's a lot of e-learning now available. So make use of those. Sit down. If you spend 1 hour on Facebook, even if it's 10 minutes you spend online doing a bit of research, it goes a long way. It goes a long way. And on that note, March the 7th is the cancer conference. I know people think, oh, me not get cancer, or it's not about me. No. Come. Even as healthcare professionals, I'm actually appealing and encouraging all health and social care professionals, whether cancer is of interest to you or not, come and listen. It's a free event. It's a free event that I've put together for our community. Come and listen and learn 1 or 2 things, or come and listen and share and discuss. You will definitely, I guarantee you, you will definitely come away with learning one thing. So I'm expecting you all to be there. Jayatu Bashir, Fatia, and Auntie Grace, and Nims, of course. Nima is one of the organizers. So please, I'm encouraging you. We need to move our community forward from an education and development point of view. We need to do that. And the only way we can do that is by creating these forums and these platforms so that we can share knowledge and absorb knowledge. There's no other way. There is no other way. It's not just about the social events. It's also about education and learning and development. We have to do that. We have to create that. And we have to learn how to communicate effectively and clearly. Speak to people respectfully. Don't speak to people as if now you boyfriend where you don't make palaver with. No. Or don't speak to the patient just because you know they're from Sierra Leone. That means that gives you the right to become over familiar with them. You have to continue to maintain boundaries. In my profession, while I work, once in a while I'll come across a Sierra Leonean, and if I pick them up by their name, I will try my best not to be that nurse specialist who sees them, except if I don't have a choice. But if I do, I will always make sure I try and avoid the situation. And then work cooperatively, work together as a team, respect one another, respect other people's skills and expertise. Don't badmouth others. I've sat in communities, in groups where people are saying, oh, then doctor there, now so that they do, now this that they do. If you don't take them, they will kill you. If you don't do that, that is wrong. Especially if you're a nurse. If you are a nurse or a social worker or any other healthcare professional, or allied healthcare professional, physiotherapist, OT, then you see that they badmouth you colleagues. So it is very unprofessional. It is wrong. So let us stop doing these things. Let's refrain from them. Let us let us try and be professional. If somebody can't tell you, say, oh, this doctor not do this fine, na so, say, okay, you don't go talk to the doctor back. What did happen? What did make them this? You don't know the full story. You have not been there. You've not been part of the assessment. You've not been part of any of the diagnostic interventions. Who gives you the right to start saying what you're saying? It is wrong and it's inappropriate, and especially if it's coming from one professional to another. Learn to be positive. Learn to share skills. Learn to keep clear and accurate records relevant to your practice, rather than focusing on negative stuff. Be accountable for your decisions you make, and to delegate tasks and duties to other people. So as a nurse, if you delegate stuff to a nursing associate or a healthcare assistant, you are accountable. It is your responsibility. And then last but not the least, before we take a break, have in place an indemnity arrangement which provides appropriate cover for any practice you take on as a nurse, midwife, or nursing associate in the United Kingdom. Now, in the United Kingdom, we've got different unions that provide this indemnity insurance. You've got the Royal College of Nursing that you can have your indemnity insurance with. You've got Unison. Those are the two main ones for us healthcare professionals. Your Royal College of Nursing and Unison. That is us nurses, midwives, and nursing associates. I don't know about doctors and social workers. They will also have their own unions, their own indemnity insurance providers. Now, this is very important because it is not just about to cover you for your it is to cover you for your practice, but also to provide you with pastoral support if you need it, and if you're going through difficult times. They will represent you, they will support you, they will walk with you at difficult times and be your advocate as and when it's necessary. So we're gonna go for a break now. When we come back, we'll follow on and go on and talk about the other two domains, which the other one is preserve safety, and then the last but not the least is what do you call it? Is promote professionalism and trust. Those two things, preserve safety and promote professionalism and trust. Don't go away. We'll be back in a jiffy. All right. This is Isatta Sisay-Jalloh on the Health Show via Diaspora Voices.
If you're having credit problems, I feel bad for you, son. 1,000 problems, but a car rank 1. Wheels for sure, got me back in the car. Leasing with. If you're having credit problems, I feel bad for you, son. 1,000 problems, but a car rank 1. Wheels for sure, got me back in the car. Leasing with my credit, I was like, oh man, forget it. Who would have thought I'd be accepted and more? But now I got the keys, I feel so pleased. All types of cars, Fiats, Minis, Renaults, you know, boom, boom, let's go. Wheels for sure, car leasing for every credit score.
Innocent, money making machine worldwide.
Oh yeah, pray for me, Mama, pray for me. I'm in the jungle, I want to make money. Oh yeah, pray for me, Papa, pray for me. Oh Lord, guide my footsteps in this journey. Oh yeah, pray for me. Pray, 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 pray,
So Nikki, you're a winner.
Yeah, I've won 3 times now.
Wow, is that all through Lifestyle Bids, right?
That's right. So first I won the Music Awards, which was in London. Then I won the boxing match, which was in Cardiff. All you had to do was bid 83 pence for that. And then the music festival, which was in California.
And the private jet?
Yeah, made me 3 mates on that too.
So I think it's definitely safe to say that Lifestyle Bids works for you.
Oh yeah, Lifestyle Bids definitely works for me.
So don't just dream it, bid it. Go to lifestylebids.com and let the adventure begin.
So again, welcome, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Isatta Sisay on the Health Show. So on the screen now, you will see, it's the flyer, the information for the 2nd annual cancer conference. Entrance is free, and this year the theme is I am and I will. I am going to do everything I can to ensure that I prevent cancer, and I will take the necessary steps, and if I do have cancer, I will seek help and support accordingly. So some of the topics we are looking at, of course, is the commonest cancers in our community. Again, this is a BAME, it's targeted for the BAME community. the Black, Asian, minority ethnicity. And we're looking at breast, prostate, and cervical cancer. And guess what? Just this week, they've actually announced that prostate cancer has taken over breast cancer as the top cancer in the UK. And then we'll be looking at some of the challenges such as traditional and religious beliefs. And then we'll have one or two people who come and who are survivors of cancer, one type or another, that will come and talk to us about it. And of course, the venue is local in Southeast London. It is the City of London Academy, and that's in Southwark. And last summer, a lot of you went there. A lot of schools did their launch on sales in this school, the City of London Academy, and that's nowhere else. It's 240 Linton Road, London, SE1 5LA. And there's plenty of buses that go there. But the bus stop right in front of the school, you get bus 381 from Peckham or from Elephant and Castle, I believe, if I'm not wrong, and from Surrey Quays that will go there. And then you have P12 as well. So those are the buses that will put you right in front of the school. And the school is going to be in the main hall. And even the school, just to support the local community and everything else that is going on, this was offered free. So please join me, and let's come and learn, talk, share, and do a bit of networking. Okay, so thank you very much. And so we move on. We were talking about professionalism and code of conduct, especially for nurses. So we are now on the third domain, which is about preserving safety. Now, you make sure that patient and public safety is not affected. You work within the limits of your competence, exercising your professional duty of candor, and raising concerns immediately whenever you come across situations that put patients or public safety at risk. What's the duty of candor? The duty of candor basically means be truthful. If you do something wrong, put your hand up and say, well, now this happened, now so. No try for cover and then make situation worse. Recognize and work within the limits of your competencies. So if you've not been taught and you've not been assessed and you've not been deemed competent to do venipuncture, then not do venipuncture. If you've not been taught and you've not been assessed and you've not been deemed competent to give chemotherapy, then don't go and work on a cancer ward and say you can give chemotherapy. So it's very, very important. Otherwise, you are accountable if anything goes wrong. Accurately identify, observe, and assess signs of normal or worsening physical and mental health in the person receiving care. So again, this is very important, because if you go into somebody's home, or now you see somebody in a hospital, then tell you say now they hate their heart. That doesn't mean you don't check if their hands are working all right. That doesn't mean you don't check if they're going to the toilet all right. That doesn't mean you don't check if they're eating well. It is your business to be holistic. Look at things from a whole picture, not just focusing on, oh, now they hate the heart, that is them comfort. No, do a thorough assessment. Make a timely referral to another professional when any action, care, or treatment is required. For example, somebody come for the treatment, then tell you say they don't lost their appetite, anything they eat not look nice or not taste nice and everything. It is your responsibility for discuss them with the team and know as if you can refer them to a dietitian. Don't just leave it like that. Or somebody come for other thing, then they suffer from diabetes. Then you find out, say, in blood sugars, they're very erratic. 1 minute today, now 10 point something. The next minute, now 15 point something. It is your duty again for refer them to the diabetic nurse, so they will have proper care and assessment and attention. Ask for help from a suitable, qualified, and experienced professional to carry out any action or procedure that is beyond the limits of your competence. Sometimes you do a training and it takes you ages before you put that training into action. It is always best practice when you're doing something for the first and second time to get somebody to assist you who's done it before, who has done it several times. There's nothing wrong with that. There's no name or shame on that. To say, actually, you know what, Isatta, I really don't know how to do this. Can you, or I've just done this. I'm really not confident yet to do it on my own. Can you come and supervise me do it? There's nothing wrong with that. You're actually a better person doing that. Be open and candid with all service users about all aspects of care and treatment, including when any mistakes or harm have taken place. Just like I said, act immediately to put things right. If, let's say, you gave somebody the wrong medication, tell the doctor straight away, come back to the patient and inform them. Apologize, inform them, and follow the appropriate reporting procedure in terms of incident reporting. And explain fully and promptly what has happened and what are the likely effects and everything. We call those incident form. Depending on where you work, they have different names for it and how you report it. And you'll have sometimes a traffic light system in terms of showing what can and cannot be done and what's good and what's bad and all of that. So it's very, very important to have that at the back of your mind. Always offer help if an emergency arises in your practice setting or anywhere else. So if people who have this habit as well of going around gallivanting in their uniform outside their working environments, if you are out there, let's say you are in a supermarket and you have your nurse's uniform on, and somebody calls for help and they say, is there any nurses here or is there any healthcare professional? There's an emergency, and you walk away from that emergency. You have a duty of care. You're accountable. You're responsible. That is why it's very important. If you know you're not sure, you're not comfortable, be mindful how you go about your day-to-day life and how you represent yourself as a nurse. Arrange wherever possible for emergency care to be assessed and provided promptly. Take account of your own safety. For example, if you go to a supermarket and someone collapses and they're having a heart attack or a cardiac arrest, as it's medically called, you don't have to do mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. The new guidelines of resuscitation with the Council of Resuscitation is just continue with your compressions. But one of the things you should be aware of now is that almost every setting has these little gadgets that you can use now. So it's very, very important, these electronic defibrillators. So it's very, very important. You can ask for that whilst you call for help. Act without delay if you believe that there is a risk of patient safety or public protection. So again, don't wait and say, oh, not to me that they call. Me I'm not they go under attire, look me they go before self. No, that is wrong. You're failing yourself and you're failing your profession, and most importantly, you're failing that person. Tell someone in authority at the first reasonable opportunity if you experience problems that may prevent you working within the code of your conduct. So if something is not right, talk about it, deal with it, raise it. Don't keep it quiet, because if you do, you are equally as accountable. Raise immediate concerns if you believe a person is very vulnerable, which in the social care that is called safeguarding. Raising safeguarding if you're concerned about somebody, and that is only when you break confidentiality. So going back to confidentiality, if you're with someone, you have a patient who says to you, oh, I don't want you to tell anyone, but my husband actually rapes me every night and I really don't want to go home, but I don't want you to tell him because I really love him. No, you should break that confidentiality. You should tell that person that I'm really, really sorry. I'm not able to hold on to this information because of your own safety, so I have to report this. Or they tell you that, oh, I'm living in a house with a murderer. No, that's the times when you need to break confidentiality. You should also be able to advise on, prescribe if you're a nurse prescriber, supply, dispense, or administer medications within the limits of your training. Within the limits of your training and competency. The reason why this is highlighted, because we all know as nurses or midwives, within the profession, there are different levels you can get to with further development and education and training. So if you are a non-medical prescriber, you can prescribe medications within that area. So for example, a midwife who is a non-medical prescriber might be able to prescribe drugs relating to childbirth or antenatal or post. But me, as a nurse specialist in cancer and palliative care, will not have the authority to prescribe those medications. I would have the authority to prescribe drugs such as pain medicines, laxatives, or other drugs that are related to symptoms in line with the patients I deal with. So it's very important you know that, you're familiar with that, you understand that, and you work accordingly. And be aware of and reduce as far as possible any potential for harm associated with your practice. Try and avoid doing the things that will cause problems for you, basically. Try and not do things, for example, taking people's photos and sharing it on social media, or even when you're at work. I've seen people when they're at work, they take selfies, I'm at work. If you've got the nursing board behind you, people can actually, enlarge it and see the names of those patients. Straight away, you're in serious trouble. So it's very, very important. Very, very important you be mindful of what you're doing. Now, the last domain of the code is professionalism. Promote professionalism and trust. You uphold the reputation of your profession at all times. You should display a personal commitment to the standards of practice and behavior set in the code. You should be a model of integrity and leadership for others to aspire to. This should lead to trust and confidence in the professions from patients, people receiving care, other health and care professionals, and the public. This is deep. Let me begin and say this is deep. This is deep. Uphold the reputation of your profession at all times. Now, my brothers and sisters, especially we salon people, I think this is where we get it wrong a lot of times. People don't uphold their reputation of their profession. You can see people who are nurses, they're good nurses, 2 days later, they curse on Facebook. That is not professional. You know what I mean? Say because then you ward or you know wear uniform, you stop being a nurse. Once a nurse, always a nurse. And you have to behave accordingly. Or you see people go out and they behave some kind of appalling way, or drink drunk and all sorts of things. That is poor professionalism. And nowadays, a lot of employers are bringing out work policies where your activities on social media is also monitored and assessed, and you can be dealt with accordingly. So it's very, very important people are mindful and know what they're doing. And also for those people who work within certain areas, what you see there should stay there. And I'll come to that a little bit more. So keep and uphold the standards and values set out in the code. Act with honesty and integrity at all times, treating people fairly and without discrimination, bullying, or harassment. So this is basically, if you're a Sierra Leonean, you they look after a Jamaican, it's none of your business if they talk the way they talk. Your business is to ensure that they're well cared for, their needs are met, and they're safe. That's your business. Keep to the laws of the country in which you are practicing. Treat people in a way that does not take advantage of their vulnerability or cause them upset or distress. I think a few years ago, there was a big hoo-ha about an issue about a nurse praying for a patient. And the patient said, I did not ask you to pray for me. I did not ask you to pray for me. And so it's very important we think. Some of these things we think it's okay. No, they are not okay. So think about it. Think about your actions. Reflect. Anybody that does nursing or midwifery or being a nursing associate, one of the main things you're taught is reflection. And some of the reflective theories, the simplest one is the Gibbs cycle. Always live by the Gibbs cycle. That's the simplest reflection theory. Or your Jones cycle. That's a little bit more complicated, and then you start going further and further as you advance in your profession. But think about those things. Think about the situation. Analyze the situation. Reflect on it. What went well? What didn't go well? What can you do differently? What can you do better? Always have that at the back of your mind. Think. And make sure, like I said, you do not express your personal beliefs, including political, religious, or moral beliefs to people in an inappropriate way. Now, let's talk about that this small. You know, say in our community, sometimes other people think say there's a miracle when they're sick. Pastor George or Sheikh Jumaini, they go pray for them, then they're well. So then that means they don't need to take treatment. Now, you as a healthcare professional, you should not influence somebody in making those decisions. The other thing, you should not influence them, like for say, if me and you, this hospital where you don't can this, so no they do. This not to wait man sick. This na country sick. Now for go the country way. You are breaking your code of conduct. You are breaking professionalism. So please be mindful of that. If they choose that as a choice, then it is your duty and responsibility to try and give them information in their own best interest to ensure that they make the right decision. But if they still persist that that's what they want to do, it is their choice. They have the choice. So it's very important you know that and you appreciate that. Uphold your position as a registered nurse, midwife, or nursing associate. Refuse all but the most trivial gifts, favors, or hospitality, as accepting them could be interpreted as an attempt to gain preferential treatment. We all know when we look after patients very well on the ward or in any setting, most people will bring a box of chocolate, or a bag of tea bags or whatever, and give it to the nurses. Oh, nurse, this is for you. That's fine. That is perfectly fine. It's when you've looked after somebody, and then, or you're looking after them, and then every day you come, or 2 days, or so often, you come and they give you £10 here, £20 here, £30 here. Oh, keep it. This is for you. You should not accept such gift because it's directed at you. What you could turn around and say is, actually, I am not allowed. However, if you want, you can put it towards the ward's petty cash. Where I used to work, what we do, we put it towards our Christmas petty cash. Where I work now is we put it towards our summer social gatherings, where we can buy drinks and everything. It goes into one, because my organization where I work now is a smaller organization. Compared to when you work in an NHS hospital, the wards are big, the hospitals are big and different. So it's very, very important to think about that and be considerate, because sometimes it's what is expected following the gift is what you have to be mindful of. Never ask for or accept loans from anyone in your care or anyone close to them. Act with honesty and integrity in any financial dealings you have with everyone you have a professional relationship with, including people in your care. Make sure that any advertisement, publications, or published material you produce or have produced for your professional services are accurate, responsible, ethical, do not mislead or exploit vulnerabilities, and accurately reflect your relevant skills, experience, and qualifications. So this is one of the things I reference when I'm doing what I'm doing. So that is why every time when I come on this platform, I'll always say to you, I am not an expert in this field. What I give you here is to draw your attention to the various issues, illnesses, and diseases, and it's for you to use it so that it can signpost you, etc., etc., etc. So I always do that disclaimer, and this is having this in mind. So, and never use your status as a registered professional to promote causes that are not related to health. Cooperate with the media only when it is appropriate to do so, and then always protecting the confidentiality and dignity of people receiving treatment or care. So again, that is very, very important. We need to be aware of that and all of that. And last but not the least is fulfilling your registration requirements. Keep to any reasonable request so we can oversee the registration process, etc., and cooperate with all investigations and audits that might befall you, and you respond to complaints made against you professionally in order to never allow someone's complaint to affect the care that is provided to them. For example, if you're looking after a patient and that patient decides, I don't like the way you did this today. Yes, they don't like the way you did it. Try and speak to them about it. Exercise your duty of candor. If it's something that you were not comfortable with or confident with, be open, be frank, be honest, and talk to them about it. And make sure you make amends and you carry on. But what it shouldn't do is, because that person has complained, after that now it's like, oh, I don't want to look after this person anymore. Oh, this person is difficult. No, you shouldn't do that. It's very, very important you don't do that. So going back to other healthcare professionals, like I said, medical doctors are governed by the General Medical Council, and that's doctors of various, whether they're GPs, they're surgeons, they're consultants, they're all governed by the General Medical Council. That's their own professional body, and for them, they look at good medical practice, and the core guardians for all their registered doctors. And the things they focus on, they're very, very similar to what we focus on. So they focus also on confidentiality, consent and shared decision making, candor and raising concerns, leadership and management, prescribing, children and young people, care at the end of life, maintaining professionalism, cosmetic intervention, and research. So all of that is regarded as an ethical standard or rule, which is very, very important in every professional practice. So you've got your ethical standards, and then you've got your professional practice standards. Your ethical standards we will talk about a bit more when we come back, because that is what takes us into social work and care, and then we'll briefly go into that. So please stay tuned. We would come back in a jiffy. And so thank you so much. This is the Isatta Sisay-Jalloh, and it's the health show. So let us talk about the cancer conference. The cancer conference is coming up on the 7th of March. It's the second annual conference. Now, last year I did it around April, which it kind of fell between just about before Easter. And a lot of people said to me, oh, I don't travel, I travel and I make, oh, I do this, I do that. So now, this year, in collaboration, in support with the Sierra Leone Cancer Charity, which is also based in the UK, VG, we are going to do a cancer conference. And the theme is I am and I will. So please, 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 please join us. It's a free event. It's a free event, and it will start at 12 and finish at 6. So if you still have any night or social activity, you can still come and still make it to that night social activity. We'll be focusing on breast, prostate, cervical, other issues, as well as I will give the keynote address to give you an account of what I have done in Sierra Leone over the past few months, and going forward, what will be happening. So all my donors, I can see Emma Parker is there, Aminata Kalon, DJ Dool. DJ Dool, this time you're having a special invitation as the chair of the DJ Union. So watch the space. Last year you say I'm not personally invite you, and I make you not come. So this year you're personally gonna be invited. All of you are going to be invited personally. Aminata, Emma, Famata Darami, Fobi, Grace, Fatima Amoy. Of course, you guys came last year. It was amazing. You're always very supportive. Alassane, it will be lovely to see you. Jariatu, again, another fantastic, brilliant midwife. I am expecting to see you this time, and probably also give a talk. Nim Contenture, and again, another cancer specialist nurse. You'll be there, and you're helping me organize things. Fatia, I need to see you there. Fatima, are you here, or are you in Freetown, or are you in America at the moment? I don't know where you are right now. Angela, of course, wherever your godmother is, you will be there. And Auntie Grace, you will be most welcome. Spur, are you back? If you're back, welcome, and I hope to see you. And remember, it's a free event. It's self-funded. Now me your money. Now me your money I dey take plus me money. Now I dey take we dey do this event them. So if you can and you would, please, 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 you know, when you come, you can donate whatever you can, because what you donate, trust me, is gonna go to a good cause. You will not be disappointed when you come. So thank you very much. Thank you very much for a lovely evening. So remember, ladies and gentlemen, if you work in the healthcare or social care sector, please be mindful, consider, think about your actions, your professionalism, your code of conduct, how you deal with people, how you deal with our Sierra Leonean brothers and sisters when you come across them on a professional platform, and how you maintain that confidentiality, integrity, and trust. So thank you very much. Have a lovely evening. God bless you all, and I will see you next week. And when we've got World Cancer Day on the 4th of February, which is a Tuesday. So you'll probably see me on Tuesday rather than Thursday. I haven't discussed it with my producer, but that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna ask permission to have a program on Tuesday rather than Thursday, so that we can talk about cancer again, because it's the World Cancer Day. We're gonna make some noise. It's all about I am gonna do everything I can to prevent cancer. For me personally, I am doing everything I can to raise awareness about cancer, and I will continue to do as much as possible to raise awareness about cancer. So what are you going to do, and what would you be doing in order to prevent cancer, raise awareness, or support someone who is going through treatment? And watch the space. Watch the space. I've got a lot to tell you. There's so much. We have to start from somewhere. So let us keep going. Let's not give up. We will get there. Mama Salon has a long way to go when it comes to cancer, but we will keep pushing. We will keep pushing we will keep nudging and we'll keep steering the boat to the right and positive direction. So ladies and gentlemen, have a lovely evening and hope you have an amazing weekend. Stay blessed and love you all.
If you want success, it's not easy, yeah. You get for work from 7 to 5, just forget your daily bread, just for make you survive. Life, yeah, life, yeah. If you want success, it's not easy, yeah. You get for work from 7 to 5, just forget your daily bread, just for make you survive. Ta open it, 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 ta open it. There are funny things about life. Your hug should be sharper than knife. Believe in yourself and nature will provide. Cause once I go this up I must survive. There are funny things about life. Your hug should be sharper than knife. Believe in yourself and nature will provide. Cause once I go this up I must survive. Respect my hustle. Hey, my hustle. I go respect your hustle. My hustle. Life, yeah, life, yeah. If you want success, it's not easy, yeah. You get for work from 7 to 5, just forget your daily bread, just to make you survive. Life, yeah, life, yeah. If you want success, it's not easy, yeah. You get for work from 7 to 5, just forget your daily bread, just to make you survive. Ta open it, 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 ta open it. Life, yeah. Put up money. Life, yeah. Life not easy at all, oh, yeah. Mama they vex. Papa no they put up money. Respect my hustle. Hey, my hustle. I go respect your hustle. My hustle. Life, yeah, life, yeah. If you want success, it's not easy, yeah. You get for work from 7 to 5, just forget your daily bread, just to make you survive. Life, yeah, life, yeah. If you want success, it's not easy, yeah. You get for work from 7 to 5, just forget your daily bread, just to make you survive. Ta open it, 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 ta open it.
Fela Kuti dey aso.
Innocent, money making my sin worldwide.
Oh yeah, pray for me, mama pray for me. I'm in the jungle, I want to make money. Oh yeah, pray for me, papa pray for me. Oluwa guide my footsteps in this journey. Oh yeah, pray for me. Pray, 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 pray. Oluwa bless me as I am taking this journey. The road to success, not be something we funny. Sometimes you go day level, sometimes you go stormy. Lord, I depend on you to prepare a table before me. Baba, take me away from this wilderness. Protect me from the things them, where you be say them they give man stress. This year my life no sweet, I'm tired with this bitterness. I must make this money, I beg you Baba, make you give access. Oh yeah, pray for me, mama pray for me. I'm in the jungle, I want to make money. Oh yeah, pray for me, papa pray for me. Oluwa guide my footsteps in this journey. Boy, I pray for me. Pray, 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 pray. As I am going out, Baba, please bless my hustle. Give me the courage to move on, strengthen my muscle. As you dey see me so, you don't tell where I dey struggle. My own portion of blessing, I beg make you give me a double. Baba, take me away from this wilderness. Protect me from the things them where you be say them they give man stress. This year my life goes sweet. I'm tired with this bitterness. I must make this money. I beg you, Baba, make you give access. Boy, I pray for me. Mama, pray for me. I'm in the jungle. I want to make money. Boy, I pray for me. Papa, pray for me. Oluwa guide my footsteps in this journey. Boy, I pray for me. Pray, 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 pray. Boy, I pray for me. Pray, 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 pray. Oluwa bless me as I am taking this journey. The road to success not be something we funny. Sometimes you go day level, sometimes you go stormy. Lord, I depend on you to prepare a table before me. Baba, take me away from this wilderness. Protect me from the things them where you be say them they give man stress. This year my life goes sweet. I'm tired with this bitterness. I must make this money. I beg you, Baba, make you give access. Boy, I pray for me. Mama, pray for me. I'm in the jungle. I want to make money. Boy, I pray for me. Papa, pray for me. Oluwa guide my footsteps. Kela kuti.
The picture where you take and find. No life and no Christmas line. This one make them jack like the this palm wine. And for carry the check quick, make a sign.
Baby, I go love you, make you no worry. Yeah. Cause you love the flow all over me body. You know me wifey, and me are you husky. Baby, baby, baby. You know me chocolate, milk and me honey. Yeah. You go tell me mama, you go tell me papa. Go tell the family, say I'm a family diamond. And go tell the pastor, and go tell the police, and go tell the military, and tell them the fire gun. DNA, DNA, baby, the love is in my DNA. DNA, baby, 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 DNA, baby, the love is in my DNA.
The picture where you take and find. No rival, no Christmas line. This one make them jack like them taste palm wine. I for carry the check quick, make a sign.
The picture where you take and find. No rival, no Christmas line. This one make them jack like them taste palm wine. I for carry the check quick, make a sign.
I've been searching, 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 searching for your love, baby. Thank God I found you. Thank God I found you. Thank God I found you. Thank God I found you, baby. DNA, DNA, baby. Your love is in my DNA. DNA, baby, baby, baby. DNA, baby. Your love is in my DNA. I could love you, make you know what he. Cause you love the flow all over me body. You know me wifey, and me are you husky. Baby, baby, baby. You know me chocolate, milk and me honey.
papa, I dey go tell me family, say I go fair me diamond. I dey go tell the pastor, I dey go tell the police, I dey go tell the military, I dey tell them the fire gun. DNA, DNA, baby, the love is in my DNA. DNA, baby, 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 DNA, baby, the love is in my DNA.
The picture where you take and find. No rival, no Christmas line. The swag make them jack like them taste palm wine. I for carry the check quick, make a sign.
The picture where you take and find. No rival, no Christmas line. The swag make them jack like them taste palm wine. I for carry the check quick, make a sign.
I've been searching, 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 searching for your love, baby. Thank God I found you. Thank God I found you. Thank God I found you. Thank God I found you, baby.
If you're having credit problems, I feel bad for you, son. 1,000 problems, but a car rank 1. Wheels for sure, got me back in the car. Leasing with my credit, I was like, oh man, forget it. Who would've thought I'd be accepted and more? But now I got the keys, I feel so pleased. All types of cars, Fiats, Minis, Renaults, you know, boom, boom, let's go. Wheels for sure, car leasing for every credit score.